I wanted to talk about something that is a little bit sensitive, but not meant to be the topic. I really wanted the topic to be, is it sometimes okay to not receive an apology for the way somebody treated you if in some other way they demonstrate acknowledgement that they mistreated you? Even if it was like going to somebody else to try to cover their ass for how they had treated you. But by going to somebody else to try to cover their ass for how they had treated you, they're acknowledging that they mistreated you and they were worried about how it looked. It's still self-serving, but is it okay to have that just be, I guess, the apology? So here's my example. When my father passed away, he was in a home and there was a nursing staff and it was government run. So we're going to kind of have to add that piece because it may be where the attitude situation makes more sense. So I had come up with the intention of telling my father that we were all going to go to breakfast and then we were going to come back and spend some time with him. And we were actually planning on leaving that day because my father had taken a turn for the better and was transferred from the hospital to the home. And we were all kind of like, you know, I hate to say it's not going to happen while we're here, so we're all going to go home and you know, hope that he made this turn and it's going to last for a while. So I went up with the intention of going to tell him our plans for the morning. And I walked in and he had passed. I went out into the hallway where a male nurse was. It doesn't matter, male nurse. It just happens to be a man. And he was standing like at his prescription dispensing table. You know, he was going through doing prescriptions. And there was a fellow in a wheelchair next to him, probably either with the intention of being next on his list to get his medications or was maybe even bothering him. I don't know. So I politely, but anxiously, I could feel my anxiousness, politely stood there, kind of waiting for him to be done with whatever he was doing. And I wasn't, you know, I didn't say, excuse me, I didn't say anything. I just stood there kind of waiting my turn. And when he finally, the fellow in the wheelchair hadn't left, and I don't even know if he even did anything with him, the nurse finally just kind of like rolled his eyes and looked at me like, can I help you? And then I lost it. You know, I was like, my father's dead. You know, like, maybe you could be a little bit cooler, you know? It was really like a very nasty way, and we've all probably done it. You know, you could feel somebody like wanting to talk to you and you're busy, so you can still feel their energy of please acknowledge me, I want to say something. I don't think I was bouncing around, but I am a fidgeter, so it's possible that I was somewhat fidgeting. But I guess the distaste for me in that moment was very evident with the way the guy treated me. When all was, you know, my brother and his now wife came up, and now we were all like saying goodbye. This nurse, I guess, essentially pulled my brother aside, but I was present to hear it, and was saying, he was, you know, he was just talking 10 minutes ago. I didn't realize that, you know, and you could tell by the way he was defending himself that he was acknowledging how he treated me. And there wasn't even a hope to get an apology from this man for how he treated me. So now, can I accept that the way he tried to defend himself to who maybe he perceived as the authority of the two of us, can I accept that as okay? Like, I'm not, the guy was never going to apologize to me, so that's that. But in his trying to defend himself in front of me, he acknowledged his wrong. Now it's my decision to decide, is that good enough? It has to be. It has to be. There's no chance that that man was going to apologize to me. There's no chance that he's still, to this day, going to send me a card saying, I'm really sorry about how I treated you, or nothing like that. There's no chance that I'm going to experience any apologies. So to make it okay for me, I have to be able to say, he was wrong, and the only way he's capable of showing any remorse for how he had treated me is trying to protect himself through defending himself to somebody else he believed might have more authority, or even might be the one to then go to somebody who has authority over him. So he didn't want to protect himself from me, but it seemed like he wanted to protect himself and defend himself from my brother. So it's interesting. I personally have accepted that as, at least you acknowledged you were a dick. You know, at least you acknowledged you were a dick. You didn't acknowledge it to me, but in my presence, I witnessed you acknowledge you were a dick in your own way. In a self-serving way, but in your own way.